Did you know you're 40% more likely to have a heart attack in the first year of retirement than if you kept working? Why do you think that is? Most people are looking forward to their lifetime full of Saturdays, but many people are unaware of the challenging transitions they're going to face in their first years of retirement. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 distinct phases of retirement so you can be better prepared and truly enjoy your lifetime ahead. So the first phase we call the launch phase, or the retirement transition. Think of it like you're at the driving range before you're playing a round of golf. You're practicing, you're getting ready to play. This is what it's like. You know, hey, what clubs you have. You know what you have in your 401k. You know what you got in your IRA. You know when you're going to take your Social Security. You know when how you're going to take the money out of each individual account to be tax efficient. You're working on your short game, so to speak. After you practice and do everything necessary, you feeling good, you go to the first tee. And that is the second phase of retirement. Now, one thing to keep in mind, as you know, if you've ever played golf, it is a long way from the driving range to the first tee. Now that you're on the first tee, we got the second phase of retirement, the leisure phase. You're looking forward to that great round of golf. It's a lifetime full of Saturdays. You feel like you got the wind at your back, you got a clean slate, no bad holes just yet, and you're ready to play. Although we may look forward to this phase, a lot of people struggle to fully switch off from work mode and properly relax. So sitting by the pool with a drink may sound great, but if you have a lifetime full of Saturdays, things can get a little stale. Leisure is often most appreciated when you're working. And if leisure is all you have, well, that can kind of start to feel like work. Most people find that their happiness is most fulfilled when they fill their time with new life goals. Maybe like traveling, reading, tackling new projects, picking up a hobby like golf perhaps. And they strike a healthy balance with that. But a lot of times with all this new time that they have, things can get a little stale and they can slip into the less desirable phase of retirement. The next phase of retirement is the languishing phase, and you really don't want to get stuck here. Many retirees find that after a certain amount of time, they have higher anxiety and regret. Matter of fact, most business owners regret selling their business 1 year after they retire because they don't have meaning and purpose. They don't feel as important as they used to. And without goals in place and a real intent about how you're going to replace that meaning and purpose in your life, you languish around and you don't want to get stuck here. You may no longer be a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, a sales professional. But ask yourself the question, if you were to die today, what would you regret most not doing? Put a plan in place to do those things. Now, on your off time of checking off those bucket list items, think about what might give you the most amount of meaning. Maybe it's volunteering. Maybe it's giving back to the community. Maybe it's spending more time with the kids, the grandkids. You want to know one of the main things that retirees do after they retire is go back to work. They're going back based on their own choosing, not because they have to. This would be the golf equivalent of taking your medicine. Maybe you were off the fairway a little bit, maybe behind a tree, and you hit it back out into the fairway and starting again. But now with an understanding that hitting bad shots from time to time is part of the game. Realize that this is a big transition. And that when you are making the big transitions like this, it can take an emotional toll. All right, sometimes people feel guilty for that. Realizing and admitting that to yourself is part of working through it. And when you're able to look at retirement with fresh eyes again, then you can take stock in what might be more meaningful for you. The goal here is to break the negative habits that are causing you stress, worry, or regret, maybe even a little guilt. So what you could do is try to choose happiness on a daily basis through practice, maybe a little prayer, a little meditation. If you have more peace in your heart, when you bring that with you on a daily basis, then you can look at your retirement with more calmness and clarity, and you choose your next steps better. And then that will progress you to the next step. Which brings us to the learning phase. This phase can help you get your feet settled in on how you want the rest of your life to go. So how do you move forward? Well, just like hitting it in the woods, you punch out, you take a deep breath, and you start again. Acknowledge your emotions. Realize that you don't need to compare yourself to your neighbor, what you read in a magazine, what you see in TikTok or Instagram. It is whatever really kind of moves your heart. Again, it's a single player game. All right, it's just you and you. And understanding what matters most to you can help you take that next step forward. And enjoy the game, enjoy the process. So what you may want to do is connect with people who are in your group. Okay, they could have the same interest as you. They play golf, they play mahjong, pickleball. I'm a big fan of pickleball. And also physical activity. If you got a strong body, sometimes that can help you relieve some anxiety and also sharpen the mind. So a client of mine once said, motion is lotion. It's good for the body, it's good for the soul. So when you start to feel more confident and understand where you've been, know what is most important to your heart, you'll have a clearer picture of what to do next. Which brings us to the fifth step. Living your best life phase. Now that you know yourself, you'll know what to do next. Maybe it's learning a second language, taking an online class. Maybe join a civic club, giving back to the community. Your career that you have worked your whole life in, you've got a lot of very valuable information there. You may want to become a mentor to someone in the field you retired from. Give back to the younger generation. Help them stand on the knowledge of your shoulders so they can become better in the future. What you'll end up finding is you'll have more peace and joy in the game you're playing later in life. Matter of fact, people in their late 70s and 80s, as they get toward the end of life, their satisfaction tends to increase because they can reflect back on all the good things they have done and realize that all the anxieties and things they were once worried about really don't matter as much anymore. And you'll realize you're having fun with people and you love what you're doing, and that's what really matters most. As with many things in life, mistakes are opportunities to learn. When we make mistakes and we self-reflect, that turns into wisdom. So when you are prepared and understand that you're going to be going through some challenges in these transitions, it should reduce that anxiety a little bit and get you better prepared for the next stages ahead. Now, if you really want to learn how to retire happy and what that really means, take a look at this next video.